Hi everyone, welcome. I'm Philippa-Lee. I usually say I'm a clairvoyant medium, but I will say I'm the spiritual tourist now. I'm here with my husband, Boogs, B-O-O-G-S, aka Andrew, otherwise known as. And this is Marley. We call her the hunting hound. So what we're here for tonight is to do some live readings with you. While we wait for people to come on, what I'm going to do is just play a couple of the readings from last time. What I did was I edited up just the main bits. Look, they're not as quick as this live, but this is the sort of thing we're looking at. So what I get you to do while I'm sort of talking about this stuff and some validations that came up, if you want a reading, put your question in the comments. My husband is going to start writing them down. We do want you to share, okay, if possible, okay. Look, we won't worry too much tonight, but I will get into the habit as this gets more popular that those who share will be able to ask the question. So look, if you have shared, I've got Karen Delaney there, I'll write you down. So I got Karen there, honey. Mm-hmm. So just any messages in general. I've seen your name around, Karen, so I will put you in there with or without sharing. But that would be great, because look, I don't do this for profit at all. I no longer offer private readings just because I want to put everything in the public view. I will be recommending some other readers for private readings. If you like, I'll do that at the end. I've also started a private members group, which is free. You just got to answer a couple of questions to show your interest. And so we'll be doing that as well, rather than the private readings. Look, I've done over 50,000 private readings and they're lovely, but ultimately I have to, oh, we've got DeWitt here, the daughter of Chris DeWitt. Hi, Jackie. So you can see how the lives work. I sort of sometimes interact with the comments and I try to keep my train of thought. But what we're going to do is just quickly show you, you'll hear it if nothing else. I'm going to try flip you around, but yeah, there we go. I can see the button. A little bit of technical practice here. So.
Okay, so you want to ask about your friend's mum as well.
Turn it up.
Kylie, I'm hearing a Kurt type initial, like I don't know if it's a Karen with a, it's like a cat type name to do with, I'm not sure if this is your friend's mum, okay? But I keep hearing the name Karen, okay? Look, I really can't get around what other name that would be. So I'm not sure how that name Karen relates to your friend's mum. Because you talk, yeah, about, okay, so you're validating the death in the work environment, yeah. Okay. All right, well, there was the name Karen, so let's see where that lands, okay? Let us know in the comments and I'll look back later, Kylie.
So that was something that they didn't realise, Kylie didn't realise the name of her friend's mother, and it turned out that was her mother's name. So that was a huge validation of the afterlife. And why I show this, like I said, I'm not selling private readings or anything like that anymore. Why I show this is to give you hope of an afterlife, give you hope of creating your future. And here's another quick.
I'm seeing an auntie, okay? It's not someone you've mentioned. You've just mentioned your dad and your grandparents, okay? So you've given me a bit of information, which is fine. Is there a lady still here that's an auntie to you or even married into the family somehow? Funnily enough, I keep hearing a male name of the name of Glenn around you, Hayley. All right, so there's a couple of bits for you to get back to us on that. Did your mum have a sister still here? I love how you're getting back to us pretty quick. Because you're not quite sure what this is, and this... Ah, your aunt had a son, Glenn, who passed. Ah, wow. Okay, so your aunt had a son who was Glenn, who passed. Oh my gosh, wow. Ah, this is where you get me.
All right, so I thought I'd do that as a bit of a time filler and to just trying to flip you around, guys. There we go. Bit of a time filler and just to show you a bit of what I do. Like I said, I've cut them up so they're not as quick. Sometimes it takes us a few minutes and other bits of conversation to get there. But ultimately we get validation of that afterlife for you. This blows me away. I think it's changed hubby's life quite considerably. I'm not afraid to live anymore, even if I'm a bit scared. I hate getting in cars, but I still get in them. Okay, so let's start. I'll just see what hubby's got for his list. Have you got a bit of a list, or?
Not too much.
So I think you had Jackie as well. All right. I'm actually going to start with you, Jackie, who was Chris DeWitt's daughter. I'm not sure. I know your dad's ill. What happened with this was really something that blew me away. I had a week off thinking I don't want to dream. I don't want any sort of reading or anything. Look, I do love it, so it's not like I'm anti, but I thought I'll have the week off, and I woke up with this name being repeated to me over and over and over again, and it was a man telling me about it. He was trying to show me the spelling of it, to do with 2 T's. It turns out because we've done this via a photograph of the fellow, it turns out that he made someone promise on, Chris DeWitt made her promise on his deathbed that she would never use 2 T's in his name. So I sort of maybe got that back to front, but ultimately it was definitely him when they showed me a few pictures of him. He was balding at the front and different things. So I just put that out on a post and thought, gosh, we'll see if someone claims it. No family had, no people I ran into that had asked me about their family. And I thought they usually cooperate, and I'm not doing private, so what's this about? So look, that was quite a mind-blowing experience. His message to you all was that he is watching and that he is around. Look, he went a long way around it to find me on my week off and make me post, and I believe it was one of your friends that saw it, so I don't think you guys were even on my page, Jackie. So I do have the logical information, even though that wasn't logical, of the fellow DeWitt that I dreamed, his son being quite ill. Look, I will tell you that the afterlife is real. I'll also tell you it's not set in regard to his health. I feel it is something that is ongoing, definitely. I'm not medically trained at all, so and I have seen outcomes shift upon different things. The universe is maybe 90% magnetised with fate. That 10%, it's just hard. I've seen with my own father's passing, he passed 10 years ago, I couldn't really tell and had a few dreams about his passing until even days before. So I don't quite know how all that works, but I think there's a bit of soul choice. He was in a lot of pain. I'm glad he left earlier than later. His was terminal. But ultimately, we talked of the joys in life. It goes so quick. So I'm always reminded by doing this as well that it's about the joys. I'm seeing you visiting your dad, Jackie. I'm seeing you visiting him quite a bit. That might be quite difficult for you. I never come in with any sort of logical in regard to where you're located and whether you work and all that sort of stuff, but I'm seeing you really busy, Jackie. I would assume you're a grown-up. Okay, I can see the name. I have not hit your profile or anything like that, so I'm assuming I'm seeing you as an adult. And I'm seeing you, gosh, maybe you've even got your own kids, Jackie. You got a lot going on. So what I'd say to you is that the other side is there for your dad whenever that happens for him, which I do see magnetised to be before you, which is, you know, always something that we'd want to say goodbye. I feel that you'll know, Jackie. I would say to you that you've probably, I'm sensing that you had different spiritual experiences of your own as well. So I feel like someone in the family, perhaps even yourself as well, there's more than one of you that have been sensing this fellow around and thinking of him anyway. Okay, so Lisa Dodge, you're Chris DeWitt's daughter too. Okay, so he didn't give me his first name. I'm assuming Chris. I don't know who's who. Anyway, I'll let you figure that out. Anything on comments, because we will come back, and I will come back after the session tonight, which will go for about an hour, and look at things and interact. I won't continue reading after the lives, but I will be doing them every Sunday. Okay, so look, if you don't get on, make sure you come at 7. I do start a couple of minutes after 7 just to let you sort of know, and you know, you're coming on and stuff. And then I pretty much answer in order. Look, I've got the private members group if you're very interested in looking for yourself. I see you've already joined that, Jackie, so that's great, because I just remembered then I see you looking into all that, so perhaps it's with us in that little group. And so I'm seeing you also, look, I'm not sure whether it's to do with your dad and hospitals, but I'm seeing you around hospitals. Okay, I'm not sure if you also though work in that sort of thing or in healthcare or anything, whether you look after people. Okay, so if you can give us any sort of validators about having kids, Jackie, maybe a bit about sort of a rough age. Look, I'm 45. I tell people though, because of course otherwise you'll think I'm, 27. No jokes. So give us any sort of validator you can. Okay, so Lisa, let's piece this family together. Chris is your mum. Okay, so I think Chris was the one who claimed the fellow. Your dad's, who's Brad, and okay, so that was your dad's dad. Okay, so Brad, is Brad the one that's ill? Lisa. So are you sisters with Jackie? Yeah, look, like I said, I don't necessarily have to follow it. What I'll do is I'll just ask for more information. He got through my week off, so I'm sure he'll come through now. And let's have a look. Look, I'm seeing a problem with water for some reason. Sometimes they will show me something that's going on around you that you haven't told me and I couldn't have known. And you've got there something to do with water, so I'm not sure. Okay, so Jackie lost the run there. Okay, so yeah, so Lisa, Peter and you are sisters, Jackie. Okay. So I'm seeing something, Jackie, to do with water. I'm not sure. Look, it could be any of you, all right, because there's a few of you on there. Okay, you've validated Brad is the one that is ill. Okay. So if you can validate for me, I'm assuming you're all of the age to have had children, but I saw children around Jackie, I believe. All right, so... Okay, so we've got 3 of you on, yay! And I don't know if Chris is on, but anyway, I think she's the one who claimed it. So where would the water be leaking in? Look, I'm not sure what that's about. Look, I'm assuming you're Australia. Okay, Jackie, so you have 2 daughters, lovely. So you got a lot going on, all of you, and I'm seeing such love in your family, and this is really wonderful that grandfather has come through at this time in particular. And you have a daughter, Lisa, lovely. I have one son, he's 21. He likes what I do now, but he didn't always understand it until he had his own realizations. So, I encourage you to bring any family on or anything like that. I don't have any age restrictions on here. Okay, so let's keep going. Think about the water, where the water would be coming in. I'm not sure what that's about. Okay, it's also showing me some shed out the back. Okay, so no kids for you, Peter. All right, I feel I was seeing Jackie in regard to that, just because she's come on, not because anyone's more important than the other to who's on the other side, not at all. So let's keep, I just have to focus in on one of you. So I'm going to keep with you, Jackie. Tell me where the water is leaking. Okay, there's something to do with that. I don't think it's a big deal, but I think it's something that could lead to a big deal. Okay, so Grandfather DeWitt there is talking about that. He's talking about something to do with this area, okay, to do with health. I feel so, Jackie, yes. I feel it's to do with you, Jackie. Look, I'm not going to assume, but I'm focusing on you, and that's what I'm being shown. Look, it could be to do with the house. It looks like the actual house, perhaps, that you live in. I also saw a shed out the back. Look, this could be to do with something in the past. It looks like there's old tools in there. I feel like this is still around, okay, and this is to do with the fellow who passed. Look, I did get that validation that the man that came in my dream was passed in 1990, so a long time ago. But I still feel like there's some of his stuff around, okay. I'm also seeing an older female that's passed. Okay, so there's a female in the mix. She wasn't in the dream, but I do feel another female. I'm not sure if this is a sister to somebody, okay? Is this perhaps an auntie or someone like that who's passed? All right, there could be other people there as well. Look, feel free to ask about anyone you want as well who's on the other side. It's such a big energy when I'm reading families that can only sort of see so much and focus it where you want. So think about the water there. I'm going to look at other things. You validated you've got the children and it's your father who's ill and his name's Brad. You have an auntie that's passed as well. Yes, so she's pushing in there. Hello, hello. And look, I keep seeing someone to do with a partner to do with you, Jackie. Okay, so this isn't a different older male to do with a partner. Look, sometimes it could be an ex-partner. Like I said, I'm not all knowing, but it's to do with your children. Look, it may come up for you, Jackie, and that's why I leave the comments open later, even though I don't keep reading. It is where you can say, hey, this or that, because sometimes they see a little bit ahead. Like I said, it's not a big deal. I wouldn't worry too much about it, but it's to do with the roof and water. It could be to do with a wall. Just have a look on the corners. Don't go obsessively looking around all the roof bits, but just have a look, especially when it rains, and see what that's about. And there's something to do with a separate laundry as well to do with that, Jackie. Whereas here we don't have one, for example, it's in our bathroom. So it's a separate laundry area as well. So yeah, okay, let's have a look. I'm seeing, like I said, work for you. I want to look at this area here, okay? So I'm not sure if this is to do with Brad or to do with his father who passed, okay? Okay, so your mum's room. Something to do with your mum's room, Peter. Yeah, your sisters will help you, Jackie, no doubt. You're a close family there, which is lovely. I'm sorry if that does anything. I don't know if that did anything when I did then. Might have darkened it a bit. Didn't mean to. You can still see me. So, the water. Okay, so your mum. Oh, gosh. So this is mum still here, correct? Because it's about someone still here. Separate laundry. So Lisa is validating for us that mum has a separate laundry and the roof has a leak. All right, so we're reading beyond you, Jackie, but I still feel that you've got some work opportunity upcoming, Jackie. I don't know if you're looking for work or thinking about that. Look, wow, how's that?
Wow.
So that's really random. That's really random, isn't it? Oh gosh, you're getting me at the beginning now. Okay, so wow. So you just typed that at the same time, Jackie. Yes, Peter, yes. It's attached to the laundry. Mum and Dad's room has a leaking roof. So this is Brad who's ill. Yes, your dad. Wow. Okay. So they're around. Look, the universe isn't quite in control of all of this. There's a lot of beautiful information out there, which I love, which talks about the inner talk and self-healing and all that sort of stuff. But ultimately, I have the example lately of, what if you walk through Fukushima though, or Chernobyl? I don't think that would exactly save you. So there is a point where the physical environment and age, things break down in the body, and we need fixing. Look, I'm not sure if Brad has a problem with his legs, but I'm seeing this area being a problem for somebody. Okay, so who is that around? Because that information came with the leaky roof to do with the laundry, and you validated that. Oh my gosh, Jackie, so you resigned from your job on Friday. We're going to treat this like I'm reading 4 or 5 of you in this family, okay? So it's going to count for 4 or 5 readings. I am going to give you a little bit longer, okay? And I will come back to you, Karen, I promise. This was just pressing in on me. I guess the DeWitts are very got a few, and Jackie Randall there. Jackie, you resigned from your job on Friday. Wow. So, gosh, they know about that. It's not like they look in our bedroom or bathroom window, though. I've discovered a thing that I call the Privacy Act. Okay, it's just for them to show you that they're around. There's nothing to be afraid of. Sometimes they like to show us that they're there, and like I said, I do feel at least a couple of you, maybe more, have sensed the family from the other side around, especially at this time of the illness. So if you can let me know what's up with Brad and the illness, because I'm seeing him, I don't know if he can't get out of bed at the moment, or there's something that's just stopping his movement. Okay, so that could be the lower end of the body as well. I'm also seeing quite a few people visit a fellow that already passed, okay, and I'm not going to assume who this is. I feel this is the fellow I dreamed, but he looks very ill, okay, compared to in the dream. He looked lovely and he looked healthy and glowy, but the image I'm getting now is very different to that, and that would have been very hard to watch. So I would assume this is the fellow I dreamed. You had validated before he passed from cancer, because he was thinner than the pictures there. Even, Yeah, so you felt the past loved ones, Jackie. Look, you're right. You're really feeling them. Sometimes they move stuff. Look, 99% of ghost hunts we go on, it's past loved ones that just accidentally scared people. One guy was his father-in-law, so I don't know which was more scary, his father-in-law or a ghost. I think he would have preferred a ghost. But the name came through, so that's. I keep picking up with the name Audrey. I keep hearing it really loud, just interrupting me. I do want to look at work. I don't know if you've thought about healthcare, Jackie, or it's something to do with caring for people. It's not like you have to do that. It's just opportunities I'm seeing coming towards you. There's always free will and choice. Okay, one thing that was getting in the road of that message for me was reading fate for people, but it's not like I'm going to stop, but at the same time, there really are just choices coming towards you. My son, I'll out him here, rang me the other day with something that was an opportunity that he said no to recently. And he said, oh, well, I chose no instead of what the reading said. I said, no, the reading said you had a choice that's coming towards you. So I corrected him on that. But it's very easy to think that this is just fate and I have to, but it really isn't. So mum is here. Yes, I felt that this woman was here that's been talked about, so she'd be the fellow's daughter-in-law. But look, it's all energy, it's all love, it would feel like a daughter. Okay, so she's come to your house now, Lisa. Okay, oh well, that's lovely. So you're all helping. Gosh. And they're all around you in the afterlife. Let us know sort of what you're looking at job-wise, Jackie. I'm going around the place a little bit here. I love that validator of the drip, but I want to go back to the shed and the stuff. Okay, so there's still the house there at all, or did you have to go through a shed? Or I'm assuming mum's moved to your place, Lisa, by your comment there. So basically she's living with you, I would assume from that. So I'm seeing the shed. It looks like one of those old green sheds that someone would have come or got delivered and put up themselves, but it was prefabricated. Okay, so it's, look, I would assume green, but it could be a different colour. Oh, mum cleaning out the garage. So when was that, Peter? And just think to a shed as well. Look, the shed could be from the past. Oh, okay, so mum's coming on. So she's still in her house. Oh, okay. All right, because I'm seeing, it was a bit confusing because I'm seeing the house still and the leak and all that. Okay, so we've validated that she's still in the house, mum. Okay, so is there a shed or some sort of structure there? I've got something, there we go, sorry. I just sometimes get settings and different things come up, so I have to get rid of it on the screen. So think about the shed or some sort of outside area to do with the house. And look, if your mum's cleaning out the garage, it'll be that, okay? And she's probably still got some stuff of her father-in-law, okay, Brad's dad. So back to Jackie's job. You have freelance clients in digital marketing. Okay, so Peter works in care for people. All right, so that you're all getting shown to me at once. It's like unpacking a whole family. I love it though. This is a wonderful way to start our live. Like I said, look, if I don't get to all of you, which I doubt I will be doing this every week at this time. So we'll go for at least an hour. Love to go for hours, but it gets too tiring for me later, and I get to feel everybody's emotions, which is lovely, but I can only do so much. So that'll be Peter caring for people. Okay. All right. So look, keep going, Jackie. I'm seeing opportunity for you. There's great affirmation, which I've said quite a bit. I'm open to new opportunities, okay, to get more of those freelance clients in. Definitely keep me in mind in about 6 months, okay, because I'll be doing some things that I need some digital stuff for. Hey, how's that? You got a new client in 6 months. So Lisa's validating for us. Mum is saying, yes, she still has some of her father-in-law's stuff. Oh, wonderful. Hang on. Sorry, it's just scrolling funny. Okay, so Mum's still got the fellow I dreams stuff. Stuff, at the end of the day, it's up to her what she wants to do with it, okay? He's not attached to the stuff. He doesn't need it anymore. She could maybe garage sale some of it. She might make a few dollars. She could give it away. She might even throw some out. He's not attached to any of it, so it's up to her. It's not to say she's not going to keep the odd thing. I think she probably will. And look, this is going to give a bit of a freshness to your mum as well. She's going to have experiences of memories and different things, and those people are with her. Anyone who's passed, look, anyone who's alive is going to be with her. If any of you had, I'm sure a lot of you have had the situation where you've thought of someone, then you run into them, or they Facebook you or call you. Maybe a bit of deja vu. We're all connected, even those of us still here, definitely. So let's have a look here. All right, I do want to keep moving, I think. Gosh, I could read your family forever. I'll just finish with you guys, though, by saying that, look, there is a lot more information I could read, but I want to look at a lot of you tonight. But ultimately come back again. It's not like I can't reread you as well, or maybe you've got a particular personal question you want to ask in a different context to the family. I can't predict for you in regard to Brad, unfortunately. I will say to you that I have seen experiences where groups of people are very powerful in regard to the power of the mind, perhaps, okay? There's lots of studies out there, and definitely if you join the private group, I'll be putting a lot of things like that up. I do on the general page sometimes as well. And I remember a story my dad was telling me about one of his best friends, and he had a son with a brain tumour who was age 20, who's still around some 25 years later. 40 nuns prayed for him and he suddenly got better. Look, I'm not saying that's the case here. Look, there is at some point we will all go to the afterlife. Whether we've been naughty or not, I haven't discovered hell yet. In 50,000 readings, not yet, where someone's in trouble. We definitely get life reviews. I feel that happens even over several years perhaps, but it's not like they're stuck in a room or we get stuck in a room. It's time perhaps works differently over there. So I can't unfortunately predict the health situation, but I can say to you, visualize him happy, healthy. He's definitely got family on the other side, okay, at some point, and you all do, and that's the comfort that I'm hopefully here to bring you all. I'm not all-knowing. I do my best. People who know me personally can get a bit overwhelmed by all the information I give them, hence me sharing with you all, because it's all the time pretty much for me, except when I'm at a job or something. So what I'm going to do is I'll get the questions off hubby. Thank you so much to the DeWitt family of different names, Dodds and so on, and many blessings to you. Mwah. Thank you for coming along, Grandpa, to my dreams.
It's all pretty gentle. This and the back.
Alright, so we've got quite a few here. Now, hubby's going to help a bit with validations this time. It's a bit of practice for us. So he's offered to keep reading things, because I'm not going to catch everything, alright? Because see me looking away from the screen quite a bit here and there. So, Karen Delaney, let's have a look at you. Alright, I've got a bit of logical, not about you personally at all, Karen, okay, but I think you came to a show a good 2 years ago, an in-person stage show, I think. I could be getting that wrong. I always confess my logical knowledge at the beginning. But I want to have a look for you. You've just said any messages. Look, I am picking up on people from the other side. I pick up an older male pass to you. This can be an in-law, but I feel like it's a father or father figure to you. Just to backtrack to Jackie and so on, the DeWitt family, there was a name Audrey, okay? You've still got to validate a name for me. See where that lands, I have no idea. It was something that the auntie told me. Or it could be something similar, okay? But there was another name. All right, so Karen, I feel like the older male to you, like a father or father figure, that's already passed, okay? It's not a prediction. Look, it can be in-laws and so on. Have you had... Everyone's saying thank you, you're very welcome. Have you had your father pass, Karen? Okay. I keep saying that you've got a bit of travel. I know you've asked for messages, but I'm seeing something to do with location. Okay, I'm not going to assume this is a whole move. I keep saying Sydney as an area. I'm thinking that you live in Sydney, Karen. Okay, I'm just making notes here so I can hopefully get everything there. Look, if I ever read for you and you're not where I said it, it'll come up. But I see Sydney there. I'm seeing a train as well, so some sort of public transport. Look, I would assume this is to a workplace for you. I'm seeing west though. I'm seeing Western Sydney as a generalisation. Okay, so if you can validate where you are at the moment, perhaps you're further north than that. Okay, my perception of west might be Burwood or look, just get back to us on any sort of bits and bobs there for you, Karen. I keep seeing a male figure in your life. I don't know if this is a current partner, but I see someone there. So just give us a bit of a context of what you're wanting messages on. I, could do a general on you for half an hour, but then unfortunately everyone misses out. I'm just looking at Marie's question there, and I'm thinking she's there as well. All right, I'm going to interact sometimes in regard to coming back and forward to you, okay, Karen, because I'm just looking for a bit of context with what I've already said about a father or father figure. I keep picking up on a J. I'm not sure if this is the name James or a J-A initial. Okay, so just validate any of that for us, Karen. Look, it can happen very occasionally that it's someone else, but that usually only happens in the in-person shows because I leave it up to the audience to claim it. The information that I give out, it's a little bit tricky to do that on here because I'm not seeing you put your hands up and different things, and it's hard to follow the comments to actually do it like that. So I come in with already the person, which is fine too. Probably a bit easier actually for me. But I just want to look at Marie quickly. You have said that your father passed 15 years ago. I don't feel it was him coming through, but I just want to swap to you while Karen Delaney, if you're still online, comes back to us. Feel free to validate on comments. Like I said, Karen and everyone, you can come back the week after, and look, I'll pretty much remember what's going on week to week, not further down the track, so make sure you come on the next week if you've missed your bit, okay, and dropped off online. So sometimes it just drops out. So let's have a look at you, Marie. I'm seeing you seeing a lot of stuff actually, Marie. I'm not sure if you're very psychic. I know you came on the private group today or yesterday, but I can't for the life of me remember what you said at this second. But I'm seeing you really getting into seeing, really having had a lot of experiences with spirit, perhaps even ghosts, seeing things, okay, with the naked eye. Quite often this happens as kids. I'm seeing you having had an image of a man, okay, and this is more in recent years, and I would wonder if this is to do with your father. I'm also seeing a brother to your father passed, okay, because when you give me information, which is fine, I will then look for other things you haven't told me. So you've asked about your father, make the note here, and then I'm seeing a brother to your father. I'm also seeing a younger person who's passed in the family there, okay, Marie. You've said I am, and I can't remember what I've asked you, Marie. Oh, okay, you do see a lot. Okay, so Marie had a wonderful story, that's right, when she was little. I hope you don't mind me telling, but she saw a picture of her guide. She saw an image of a lady who she perceived to be her guide, and turned out, I think it was her fourth great grandmother that she got a photograph of some almost 60 odd years later. A bit under that, I think. So we worked it out. It's like, wow, because your niece did some research. So that's incredible. So that would tell me an uncle. Look, sometimes it can be in-laws, but I'm feeling like this is more a blood brother, like they grew up together. So did your father have a brother? Okay. Did your father have a brother? I keep hearing the number 28. Okay, that can be the 28th of a month. I don't think it's an age. I think it's more date. Okay. Okay, so he had a brother that he grew up with. Oh, no, he didn't have a brother. Okay, who would have passed who had a brother as well? Who is this? Because someone's talking about their brother. As mum passed or as someone else around that? It's going to be someone there. It'd be an uncle to you. So think about that. It can be in-laws. Sometimes someone butts in, Marie. I want to validate your dad here. It's not quite like Google. We will get back to him. But think about an uncle to you, Marie, that has passed. Like I said, it can be in-laws. Look, occasionally it's ex-in-laws. We don't usually get that, but it can happen. It's going to be something in there. He's showing, look, there is a female there as well, most definitely. And something to do with an uncle, so their brother. Hi, everybody coming on. Hi, Jane. We're mid-think here. Okay, your mum had a brother that passed, because he's butting in. He's like, I just want to come and say hello. So your mum is still here, correct? I know there's a bit of a lag, okay, so it's going to be a bit like that. That's why I edited up the videos for validation that you'll see around the place. Otherwise you're sitting there for a few minutes. But it is the natural way of it. Okay, so that's your uncle, so your mum having the brother, because he's showing that he grew up with the relative to do with you, which will be your mum, the parent figure. Okay. They've definitely met up in the afterlife, those two. Who was younger? Who was, oh, she has gone. Who was before their time? Who was before their time? Did you help mum before she passed? Because that's the image I had of you helping mum. They're all together in the afterlife. What's the 28th to do with? And like I said, if you can't remember now, or you find out something later, it's the 28th of a month, Marie. Do comment later. Oh, you held her, Marie. She showed me that moment in regard to helping her and definitely being with her. I didn't realise she'd passed. I was seeing that image, so that's what a clairvoyant goes through. John Edward very openly says he quite often can't tell a lot of things. He asks for more information. Okay, so we had Karen Hatting, which is a different Karen. Okay, all right, just make sure I don't mix you up. Okay, so she showed me that. She showed me a lot of love in that moment, and there's more than one moment of helping her and being with her before she passed, your mum. So the brother's there as well, and who would be the younger person before their time? And the 28th, they're two together. I keep getting the name Ben. It's an outright name, Ben. I can't avoid it. Sometimes I'm trying to find the alternate, or like I did with the Karen I showed you earlier, like it's a cat. It's Ben, okay? Definitely a Ben name around that. Look, if this is anybody else, I'm trying to not have them interrupt, but look, they sometimes do. I'm not always in control. I was thinking I haven't had a nightmare since 1994 this morning. Had a nap this afternoon, and guess what? I have a nightmare. So we're not quite in control of this as readers and so on. Okay, so let's see. I'm just sort of clearing my mind, Marie. So you've still got Ben and the 28th, which she'll hopefully come back to us. Very specific information. Okay, so wow. So Ali, you helped your mum before she passed, and she passed on the 28th of December. Okay, so Marie, okay, think about the name Ben as well, Ali. Okay, this Ben fellow passed too soon. I feel it's the name of the man who passed. Okay, his name's Ben. I don't know if it's someone I've read before, if it's someone watching, if it's someone a bit shy. Okay, you can always comment later if you weren't feeling keen. At least you don't have to verbally interrupt like a stage show in person where they're like, oh, come up later. And we'll all get to know on the comments. And basically anyone who's maybe not going to get a reading tonight, or, you know, like I said, we'll come back. Okay, we'll find Ben. Like I found DeWitt. We're going to find Ben. He's before his time, he's saying. Oh gosh, he was young. He was young. He looks in his 20s to me. Looks can be a little bit deceptive in that someone, you know, just looked a bit older or younger. All right, I'll come back to you, Ali, because I just want to focus back on Marie. You didn't identify with the Ben, but you did with the 28th. So I'm going to keep the 28th with Marie, but I will come back to you, Ali. Okay. This is someone who's in their 20s who passed. It's a male, and to do with the name Ben. Okay. Alright, Ren's Robbo, Renee Robbo, Ren's, I like your new name there. I've read her privately a couple of times, and she gets some wonderful orbs on camera. I don't know if you've all heard of orbs. We're getting some and putting some stuff out there and investigating. Some of them are not dust or glares and things. There are real unexplainable things in there too. Okay, so your nephew Ben's still here though. Okay, so we'll come back to you, Renee, but I don't think that's claimed information yet, and we'll see what comes later. Look, it's very beautiful when it's something that comes later. I'm not going to stress or obsess about that, because that can be lovely for us later. So even if you're watching, and you'll get that proof of the afterlife, hopefully. So you see a lot of orbs, Marie. Well, there you go. You're very sighted. I very rarely see them with my naked eye, and here I am reading you all. Hey? Okay, so I want to just read a bit more on Dad, and you've got Mum there and the uncle as well. You've also got grandparents, Marie. You've got a whole tribe over there. I'm seeing another country to do with your family. I feel this was probably grandparents. It's further down the track, or long ago, further. So I see somewhere that's colder than here. Okay, I'm not sure where you're from, Marie, but being in Sydney, Australia, it's colder than here. And I'm seeing another country associated with the ancestral lines. Look, that's pretty common for Australia, but I feel that it's fairly soon in UK, yeah, colder for sure. I spent 6 months of my life there once. I think I had 2 weeks of warmth. Where I got to maybe wear something like this. Oh, so you're English. Oh, so it is much sooner. Okay, so you've come over, Marie. Yeah, because they're showing me this cold place. So I want to talk about that place to do with your dad and growing up, I would assume. Okay, because there's also his father there. And ancestral type things to do with another country, which we now know is UK. It's definitely colder than Australia. And so I'm saying that he keeps talking about the south for some reason. So I'm not sure if it was the south of a place. I don't know if it was South England. I was at Cambridge, so I don't really know a lot. Sort of went to Glastonbury, a few sort of major attractions, but I didn't really get around too much. And that was a good 10 years ago. So I'm not that knowledgeable about the geography of UK, but he keeps talking about the south. Oh, okay, so you got Scott's granddad as well, yeah. So your dad potentially moved south. Did he, compared to his family? My last name's actually Mackenzie, Philippa-Lee Mackenzie. So I have a lot of Scottish in me and English. My mother's maiden name is Glendenning, so that's English. I'm first generation Australian, but my dad was 5 generations New Zealand. Mum was 1. So his dad did, yeah, okay. All right, so you're validating that. So he'd be there as well. So it'd be your grandfather, okay, because they wanted to validate they're there as well, and that's how they've done that. How beautiful. How beautiful, Marie. That's lovely. I can't wait to see what you see for people on the private page, if you have a go. Some people are talking about their houses and different things. A lot of people are actually figuring out, because I'm resisting reading on that page because I don't want to get into that usual sort of thing and encourage people to talk about it for themselves and just me be on an equal on there. And people have already pretty much figured out who's who in their houses, on that group at least. So that's really beautiful. And gosh, we'll find that Ben. I tell you, he's someone. He's interrupted. But I do feel the 28th for you. Look, you might hear about a Ben later. Sometimes it can be a neighbour, something like that, that you just weren't at all aware of, that this person had passed, or even that sometimes they existed. This has come about as well. And they're the ones that really blow us away. So just keep that in mind, Marie. It has come up around you, but we'll definitely open it up to the group, I guess, as well. So thank you so much, Marie. I'll keep going. Come back again.
Time for one more.
Okay, so look, I'm going to do 2 more, okay, because I've done the family, which I counted as 4 or 5. I said to hubby, hassle me, because it won't be long enough. So I'm going to read for 2 more of you. I'm actually going to read for Lisa and Ali. Look, I've got some wonderful people who've been regularly coming. Denise Green, Sarah, Renee Robbo. There's quite a few there. Tara Jade, Renee Daly. There's people I'd love to read tonight, but look, do come back next week. Look, we'll see where the synchronicity lands. But let's go to you, Lisa Farmer. You just had a question that relates to what was said before. Okay, so this is to do with your question of, is it Grandma's time to go? You're welcome, Marie. Is it Grandma's time to go? Look, I want to say to you, because this came up at the beginning with the ladies who are online, their father, Brad. Look, it's not set, but I do see her being quite old. I see her being quite thin. If I've got the lady correct, please validate for us, Lisa. Is she very thin? Okay, look, I doubt I will be a thin old lady, so it's some way to define it. So my version of thin may not be. Oh my gosh, we found Ben, I think. Wow. Okay, so back to the first family. Oh my gosh, I'm just interrupting you. Yeah, so she's thinner than she used to be. All right, so sorry to interrupt this.
They also found Audrey, by the way.
Oh, they found Audrey?
Yeah, yeah.
What was Audrey?
Inheritance and
So inheritance?
to do with the twin and such, yeah.
Oh, okay, so there was some inheritance from Audrey, was there?
Yeah.
Oh, we like Audrey. Hi. Sorry to interrupt your reading, Lisa. I'll come back to you. So Lisa from the first family, the DeWitt family, even though she's Lisa Dodds, Ben is Dad's best friend. He passed from a heart attack 4 years ago. Wow, okay. So I mentioned him in his 20s. Is there a picture of him with your dad in their 20s? Because that's what I saw. Okay, so it may not be the literal age he passed. Before his time. He's around you as well. Wow, so your family has taken this one over, but Audrey, wow, that is just huge to validate those things for you. I'm not sure if you guys relate to the 28th. Wow. So I'm going to assume we found Ben there. All right, so let's look at Lisa. I'm just trying to scroll up. Oop. Look at Lisa. All right, there'll be lots of, Jackie's confirming there'll be lots of pictures of Ben and her father in their 20s. He had a good time with your dad. It's not like they miss us on the other side, but they do. They do miss us in a way that they don't get to hang out with us 2 ways. At the, look, even for me, it's not like I can just call on my father who passed 10 years ago and go, hey, turn up whenever. It's the special times when we need a bit of help, usually. But he did show me one time, like, driving really fast in this little green Golf mini car. And it was around the suburb of Manly in Sydney in this dream, and he laughed at me because he's going about 100 k's down this little tiny hill in Manly, with tiny streets, and you wouldn't want to do that in reality. And he said, oh, don't worry, we can't get hurt, we can't die. It was a dream, and I woke up, I'm like, oh, that was a funny one, Dad. Anyway, it turned out my ex had bought my son a car, which was a green mini Golf, and they lived at Manly. So I then had faith that my son, if he did hang around Manly at that age, because he was only 15 when he got bought a car, that hopefully he was going to be just fine. Okay, so giving us reassurance. So I'm going to go with you, Lisa. I could chat for hours to everybody, like I said. So you have validated that grandma is getting thinner. Okay, look, I do still see her around for a while, to be honest, with grandma. I think that quality of life is very important for her. I do see her with some assistance, so I'm not sure if that's happened at this point. I am seeing a frame walker to do with your questions. I'm not sure if that's occurred yet. So I'm seeing one of those ladies who just go on forever with the little old, you know, with the walker thing, basically. Look, again, visualize happiness. Look, sometimes John Edward talks about the happiness can just help a person pass if it's their time. I think there's maybe a time not to go, but there's definitely not a death date that you were born with. There just isn't. There's things for you to do, so perhaps you'll get saved by your guardian angel, pulled back off the road or off the mountain or something, but ultimately there's not a set time to go, guys. I've done over 50,000 readings, I've said it a few times, and hopefully tonight proves that a bit for you. Hi Brooke, hi all the newbies and the regulars. So like I said at the beginning, we spent a bit of time with the first family. So I see that grandma will probably keep going, Lisa, in regard to your question, okay? And Ali Jones, I just wanted to look at you quickly. So you validated, I think, your mum passed. Let's have a look here. I keep seeing something that looked like a childhood memory to me, Ali. Okay, did you ever have those roller skates that are 4 wheels? Okay, I would think 70s, 80s for that. I don't know when the rollerblades came in, but I think it was more the 90s. Hubby wouldn't know, he was...
Yeah, I've always skated.
Yeah, did you do it with the 4 wheels?
Yeah.
Oh wow, there we go. Young hubby even did that, so they outlasted. So I'm not sure of your age, Ali. Maybe you're quite young, but I'm seeing something around your mum to do with roller skates. It seems pretty specific to me. Like I don't have any context of your age or anything like that. So Lisa, the grandma needs the walker and she's in a home. Okay, so you validated for us. So you're born in 91, my husband's born in 92. He's younger than you. But something to do with your mum, okay, so there's got to be a picture or something. I would assume you've got pictures of your mum. I'm sorry to hear you lost your mum so young, okay, because you're still young. I was 37 when my dad passed. I'm glad I got that extra bit with him. Gosh. I'm seeing a male to the side of you. I would assume this is a brother to you. It could be a partner. But if you can validate a brother to you, okay. Seeing a lot of green fields, okay. This is something that a lot of mowing the lawn. So oh gosh, I've got the roller skates. I'm just making notes. It looks like it's 80s to me, probably 80s hair to do with your mum and some picture to do with roller skates. It's sort of like that hair where the original Terminator movie, you know. The guy had short hair in the 80s, so I didn't have the buffy sort of thing. It would have been before you were born, this picture, I would assume. Validate for us a bit later, perhaps. Look, I'll just double check the time. Yeah, we'll wait for Ali to validate a bit more. Look, for the regulars, I'm not doing the meditation on the lives here. I'm going to be doing different platforms for everything and separate everything. So when I come on the... okay, so you're 5 brothers, Ali. Gosh, I don't know which one this is. Something to do with lots of lawn. So you mowed a lot of lawns in your childhood. Okay, so you have a photo of your mum with the hair. Okay, so you've got to find the roller skates. And we've pretty much validated the rest for you. Wow. Okay, so you know the photo of your mum with the hair. Look, anything you want to post to do with coming back with your relatives' pictures or validations, I personally love all that, but do it pretty soon, the next few days, especially before the next live, so that, you know, otherwise I lose a track in my mind and I don't necessarily write it down. It's too many people and information for that. So you've got the brothers, and you mowed a lot of lawns. Yes, so you were the lawnmower. The girl, what's with that? Oh gosh, so lots of joy in bringing your loved ones that have passed through to you. I also do look at your future, if you like. I know Jackie at the beginning had a bit on her work and she's just quit a job Friday. Different bits and pieces of information that came up, but I'll definitely tell you that we are contributing to our future. Look, we're not necessarily in control of it all. I think the law of attraction is great, where we draw in what we are in regard to our attitude. That definitely helps our life, but at the end of the day, there can just be harder situations out there that can't be avoided. So strengthening ourselves. If you're looking for work, keep going, keep practicing. If you're looking for something new in your life, again, just keep going, keep at it. I always say look for the synchronicity around things for yourselves, which is meaningful coincidence. I'll be putting a lot of that out as well. I'll be doing meditations, but on a separate format, and I won't be doing them live. I'll be doing them with some nice music that we're going to put behind, and that'll probably take about 6 months, to be honest. But then we'll give you all that for free, and we're going to do ones like Creating a Miracle and all different things. Now tonight's more been, I'm glad you liked that, Renee. I didn't quite get to you, but like I said, come back next week. I'm going to be coming each week. I love it. So tonight was more about the medium side of things, more about reading for those who've passed. I don't mind what you come on and ask. You can be giving me a detailed question or not. Things get validated. We pretty much validated everything except, I think, some roller skates. And look, I love a picture of Ben and Brad when they were in their 20s. Okay. My mum loves hearing about this. Our whole family pretty much lived this. So don't forget about the private members group. I'm going to put a link up sort of in the next hour on this comment string, but you can see that private members group. It's free underneath this post. I posted it not long before the session. And do answer the questions. If I don't recognise your name, maybe I'm in a rush or not thinking straight that minute, not in my genius brain space as usual. Do answer the 2 questions. They tell me that you're genuine. I don't want to, get anyone in who's just curious to that group or just looking for a reading. It has to be people who want to actually look for themselves and start seeing stuff. If you've got a lot of fear, that's fine. If you're hesitant, just answer the questions. Come on in. You don't have to share all your stuff. It's not going to be standing over you. But we do want to encourage those who are a bit more looking rather than just wanting the reading, because you can come on this format for that. Let's have a look here. We've got everything. Like I said, I'm not doing the private paid readings. So lastly, I'll just recommend some other people who I think are great readers. Okay, so please don't be afraid to contact these people. I'll put them on the link as well. But we've got Bernadette Popick. She's in the Woy Woy area, so I believe she does face-to-face as well as phone and video call. I'm not sure of her price, but I'm sure it's very reasonable. And she's a spiritual medium, so she does a bit of everything, all right? Her mobile number is 0433 587 057. And like I said, I'll put that below, but for those of you with a pen, 0433 587 057. And I'll put that link up. There's also another lady, I'll put a link, who's been doing a lot of lives, which are more for the collective. So it's a little bit different. And she talks about the divine feminine and the divine masculine, and they're absolutely amazing. I don't know her personally. I don't know Bernadette personally, but I just think what they're both doing is great. Angela is at the Spiritual Events Directory, and I believe you can contact her for private readings. And another lady from New Zealand, who I believe does like $10 inbox readings, but she read me one Sunday because I was looking around for readers to recommend to you. She blew my mind. Debbie Damiana from New Zealand. I will put hers up as well. She's very caring, okay? Look, I've been around 4 out of 5 readers. Quite frankly, I would be a bit careful. Always go with a recommendation. And those 3 are great. But I will be back next week. Thank you so much. Hello to all those who sort of came on at the end. But you can rewind back. have a bit of a look. And look, I get a little bit nervous doing this, but I try not to lose my breath and stuff and say too much. I really love reading for you, so I hope to see you next week, and thank you to all for watching and those who interacted, and you validated really well tonight. So much love and rainbows to you. Mwah. Take care.